the mental part of life. Mental anguish, stress, anxiety, to the point where your head is hurting and you are wrestling throughout the day emotionally to make a decision. One of the hardest parts about adult life is making decisions. It's very stressful. It causes people to go to food, to eat, to drink, or to do something to escape the stress of the decision. It sounds so simple, but it's so complex. In order to go forward, we have to make decisions. However, humans are not an Excel spreadsheet. You can't just plug in a formula and humans make logical decisions. And sometimes logical decisions are not the right decisions because life is not an exact science. There's some art, I could say, hey, look, eat 2,000 calories. Okay. This is the most efficient, cost-effective way to live. Don't date this person. Don't go here. Don't do this. Don't. And before you know it, yes, you may live a relatively safe life and by the book, but you also will never live. Life is a little bit like bumper bowling. I don't know if some of you psychopaths have ever been to the bowling alley late at night as an adolescent when they would have bumper lanes. Okay, meaning that they would put like foam or rubber things in the gutter of the bowling alleys so that you can bowl and you'll never gutter. You always hit some type of pins. And in life, I guess we are scared to go into the gutter. A fear drives many decisions. And the reason fear drives many decisions is because you're going to make decisions and make the wrong decision. There's no way that you will go through life and always make the right decision. It's impossible. It's not the way this world works. The people who persevere, the people who endure, the people who try to learn from their mistakes as best as possible, and still fight through the anguish, the stress. That's all you have. Okay, but you can make your life better, and it does require some hard decisions. The decision is always easy in the beginning because there's always some frivolous things in life you can eliminate. Like I said, the greatest lesson I learned in public school was when you were taking a test and there were 4 answers, A, B, C, D. To relieve some of the stress of making a decision, eliminate 1 or 2 of the answer keys. Like as an example, they would ask a question and 1 or 2 of the pre-populated answers would be totally incorrect. So you can save some anxiety, some time, some energy by just eliminating that which totally doesn't apply to the question. Process of elimination. How do you make decisions? Well, start with process of elimination. And then narrow it down to the 1 or 2 choices left before you. And even then, very hard. You can hurt yourself mentally, emotionally, and you can go backwards trying to make big decisions. I think as much as people claim they love to be independent, I think many people know there's pain in being independent, and they rather someone just tell them what to do. I remember the book of Samuel in the Bible. I read it because I wanted to know what my name origins came from in the Bible. And it was this guy who basically had told the people, you don't want a king, you don't want someone to rule over you. But the people kept demanding Samuel give them a king because they wanted order and structure. They wanted someone else to make the big decisions. And eventually they got one, and that's the way life is. You do need structure, you do need leaders. So I'm not anti-leader, I'm not anti-organization, I'm not anti-government. Okay, that's an unhealthy mind. Someone who just wants no government, no laws, no rules. Look, guys, it's the way this world is, guys. If you don't like laws and rules, go Guys, you can go in America, you can go to parts where there's like just lawlessness. It's a disaster. However, guys, look, I'm in civilization. I'm in populated areas. I live in this world. And what I've learned is hard decisions never stop. Because what happened, at least some of my journey, once I realized I needed to make decisions, I needed to make the decision to stop smoking cigarettes. It took me 3 years to finally, like, seriously cut the habit. I had to make the decision, okay, to lose weight, to get out of obesity. It took me 3 years to shed all that weight. I had to make the decision to downsize. Oh, downsizing, so hard emotionally. You got a storage unit, you know you don't need it, but it's so hard mentally to make that decision to get rid of it. You know, you got underwear, socks, coats in your closet. You don't use them, but it's so hard. It's so stressful to think about throwing them out. I've been there. Now, eventually, by the grace of God and through hard work and tenacity like a motherfucker, I stopped smoking cigarettes. I lost 200 pounds and I sold my house. I live a primitive, basic, minimalistic life. You know, it's like it's one thing to lose weight, it's another thing to keep it off. It's one thing to get out of debt, it's another thing to keep it off. You know, big decisions never stop. Now I'm faced with a decision, do I want to upgrade my life? Because I think I do want to upgrade something. I do want to add some comfort. It's still a hard decision. Why? Because there's nothing perfect. You know, if I get a certain car, it's not a house. If I get a house, it's an entanglement. If I get an RV, it's a depreciating asset. If I stay the same, I suffer through winters. So I suffer through summers, excuse me. I suffer for the fact that, you know, you do need some stability at a certain point, maybe. There's no perfect answer that lasts forever. You know, I always say when in doubt, keep it simple, and I agree with that. But it is true that not every decision is simple. If every decision was simple, then just keep it simple. It's not. Some decisions have some complexity. You know. Now, like I said, though, don't focus on the complex decisions. There's probably many easy decisions you can make. You have equity in your house. You don't want to live there. Well, easy decision, sell it. And now it's not easy to actually do it because it takes a lot out of you mentally, emotionally. I always tell you, the younger you can get your health together and the younger you can downsize, the better, because the older you get, the slower your metabolism and the harder it is to separate from the materialistic things that you spent your lifetime acquiring. Make the decision today, because you'll never be younger. Make the decision today to eat a little bit healthier, to live a healthier lifestyle, and to downsize as much as possible. And then you may even get to a point like me where you say, you know what? Well, I want to have some treats. I want to be able to go out to eat. Well, look, after you have sustained a certain way of life, then you can add some things. After you have sustained, you know, getting your finances in order, sure, you can enjoy some things. I always tell you, like, I kind of look at it like, in my opinion, in my mindset, like, once you go through a breakup, whether a divorce or regular breakup, you should spend a year just by yourself. You know, once you lose weight, you know, you shouldn't go celebrating, you know, for your birthday. You should spend like a year just with a consistent lifestyle. Consistency is the key to many things. You know, there's some people, guys, look, they make 500% on GameStop one day and the next day they lose it all. And remember, every gambler will only tell you about their wins, not their losses. Okay. I remember that back when I was going to Atlantic City. Okay. I remember one time I was at the crap table. Atlantic City is a shithole. It's always going to be a seasonal town. It's cold. It's nasty. Like I've said, most of America's a blessing. Every first world country, whether you're in Europe, Canada, whatever, it's a blessing to be in a first world country. But what I could tell you is the land is just like your closet. Most of the land is not being used. It's not practical. Like in your closet, you only probably use 10 or 20% of your clothes. You know, the land of America, the land of China, you pick a country. Most of the country, guys, is destitute land. Most people are centered in the coastal areas by the bodies of water because organisms need water to live, sunlight. I mean, yeah, there's some people live in Alaska. You got ESP, you know, you got Sarah Palin, but, you know, Alaska's always going to be what it is, an iceberg. Okay. We're getting off track, but what we're talking about is, see, now look, like, I remember I had a friend growing up, and at one time in middle school, I was getting picked on very early on, before I started, like, speaking up for myself. And I remember there was a kid who I played basketball with in that class, and he had stood up for me. And like, to try to show that I appreciated that, I like kind of like followed him and tried to be like him and try to, show that I was thankful. And we became friends. Your life changes in middle school, not preschool. Like, I know there's a debate in society that we need to make a decision for the next generation. Well, guys, no one remembers their circumcision. No one remembers pre-K. No one remembers first grade, second grade. Your life will change in middle school. When you hit puberty and when peer pressure comes, that's when you will smoke cigarettes, and that's when you will give a blowjob in the bathroom. Your life doesn't change in pre-K, it changes in middle school. Make a mental note, Joe Biden. I'll tell you, there's some people today, they woke up at 45 years old, 55, 65, and they started smoking, they started drinking when they were 12. That's when I started, 11. That's when I started. There's some people, their whole life was formed between the ages of 10 to 14. That 4-year span is the most crucial. You say, oh, my daughter still loves me. I said, well, how old is she? She said, well, she's 5 years old. And I said, well, check with me at 15. You'll lose your kids probably from the ages of 10 to 25. And then by 25, they'll have a kid. By 35, they'll want a divorce. By 45, they'll say you're right. By 55, you'll be dead. And your kid will go on. Don't stress about getting a divorce, because if you have to think about it, it's reality. Now, don't get a divorce and then before the ink's dry, come to Florida. I had one guy message me today. He goes, yeah, I just filed for divorce. I'm coming to Florida tomorrow. I said, well, I hope you don't have any kids, man. I mean, like, I lived in New Jersey for 2 years in my car so I could do things responsibly. I don't know, man. Sometimes people worry me a little bit. They make a serious decision, then they make a reckless decision. I'm like, oh my God. I'll tell you guys, not easy. Like, I feel like I'm Charles Barkley, like, guys. But I know, look, I practice what I preach. I'd show you guys a good example. People do what they want, okay? And then they try to blame someone else. That's all right. But look, guys, I'm stressing right now in my life. I'm sharing some examples because I structure my live feeds. I don't just shoot from the hips. I don't ask people what they want to talk about. It's not kid school. This is my channel. It's your life. Okay? See, some people have a problem with that. Like, I want to know what you guys want to talk about. What's your favorite color? I remember being on a call with a girl. One of the first times in my life I was on a phone. Well, this is back in the day before you had cells and beepers. I was on a call with a girl, and, I was like, I don't know what I was, 11, 12, I don't know. And, I was flirting with her. She was flirting with me, and I was running out of material. And I went to the backup like, well, what's your favorite color? And right there, guys, that ensured that I was never getting in those panties. Even at 12. But, like, guys, look, let me tell you something. Okay, most people had sex by 14, or at least got a blowjob, or give a blowjob. What are we talking about? We're talking about it's your life. Okay, you direct it. On the phone conversation, you don't ask, okay, what's your favorite color? You don't ask, well, what do you want to do? Now, again, if you are a single person or if you are living your own life, you have to figure that out, not someone else. See, the worst thing someone can do is say, well, I don't want to be alone. Can you talk to me? And that shows that they're a ball of negative energy. Because all of us, even me as a minimalist, I got my health together, got my money bag together, got my life together, got my YouTube channel growing. Even me, I'm still stressing about decisions. Some people message me like my man Coconut. He said, Sam, you got a fucking maid. What you stressing about? I said, well, it is true. But I'm stressing about, should I buy a $100,000 RV? Should I keep living in my 5-year-old Jeep? Should I buy a house? Should I buy a piece of land? You say that's first world problems. Well, I'm living in the first world. So are you probably if you're watching this. Decisions never stop. But I'll tell you, the minute you don't make the decision for your life, someone else has to make it. You don't want to make the decision on what you're going to do for income. You'll get government assistance, but they will make the decision on where you live. You don't want to make a decision to leave a relationship. Well, they will make the decision on if you can afford to live in that place or what you do with your future. See, you don't get the glory without the accountability. You don't get the next level of your life without the stress. Like I always tell you, a lot of people I know, they said, I quit my job because it was too stressful. I said, well, how you doing now? They're more fucked up than ever. I said, well, yeah, all right. Well, hey, guys, look, I don't even laugh at that because we all make bad decisions. But I say, look, guys, life doesn't get easier by trying to outthink life. Life gets easier by managing your time, by staying productive, by eating healthy. Because that way, even if you don't muster up enough strength to make a decision, at least you got a good routine structure. I don't want to know what the hell anybody wants to talk about. This is what I'm talking about. You got to take hold of your life. If not, someone else will have to do it. How? All day today, I have been stressed out trying to find an apartment and a job. Linden, New Jersey. I dated a stripper from Linden. Walmart called me today. I have an interview tomorrow at 10 a.m. I am all over the place. It will get better. Good to see you, brother. Great to see you, man. Yeah, shout out to Linden, New Jersey. Shout out to Rahway. I worked at Merck Pharmaceutical in Rahway, New Jersey. Okay. So, look, it's a congested area. There's some areas there that are bad, some that are good. By the train station, that's a commuter's haven, but after the coronavirus, I don't know how many commuters are still there. But there's a lot of industry there. I believe even there's a data center, NASDAQ exchange that they built over there. I don't know if that was Linden, Rahway, somewhere over there. But what I can tell you is wake up early, work out, eat healthy, manage your time. Do some more Instacarts. When in doubt, make money and don't spend money. When in doubt, eat healthy and don't eat unhealthy. But every day we can get through without making a major disaster is a good day. And a little bit of progress. A little bit of progress adds up. Don't despise small beginnings. Mitigate risk as you get older, but you have to take some risk. That's the balance you got to find. Charles, what's up, man? Great to see you. Thank you for all the support. Charles and Hal and Bill and Charles. It's important to be intentional about what you want. Good point. If you're not careful, people will convince you, here's a great point, people will convince you of what they want for you. Well, yeah, and what they're scared to do for themselves. And you'll be, left unsatisfied. Totally agree. Hashtag ownership. You nailed it, brother. Great comment. You've been around the block. Look, when you're faced with a big decision, unless you're married, you can ask people's advice, but don't ask too much. And you need to go in a corner or you need to stay by yourself. And I made the mistake when I was stressing over decisions. I would talk it out with people too much and I would stress them out and then I would get too much feedback. See, when you're ready to sell your house, don't tell anyone, just list it. And yeah, that's going to cause some problems, but you don't need more stress. You need decisiveness. See, I said to myself, well, you have to get to a point in your life where you're ready to cross a threshold. Like where you're ready to say, I'm not going back. Okay. Now, I'm not just going to come to Florida without a job. I'm going to stay in New Jersey for 2 years in my car, but I'm not keeping this house anymore. You have to get to a point in your life where you're committed. One of the first videos I did living in my car, I showed how I slept in my Jeep. And and at that time, my bed setting wasn't even right. But guys, you start now and you refine it as you go. Like when I made the decision to live out of my car, I think about it now, like I was living so uncomfortable. But that's how you start. You just, your first day on job may not be good. Your first interview may not be good. You get better over time, the more decisions you make. See, the more decisions you make, the better you get because you learn from experience. Some of that experience is failure. See, the less decisions you make for your life, the more you are on assistance from the government, from your family, and the more you're treated like a baby. Because they say, this person can't make a decision for themselves, so let's make decisions for them. And there are some people in life that I know, that some in my family, that, look, they don't have the capacity physically or mentally to make decisions. But I always tell you guys, don't sell yourself short. I mean, I've worked with some very smart people, men, women, that done great things with their life. Great things. And sometimes I feel like they undersell themselves. Like, a lot of people have given me the compliment, like, Sam, you're a salesman. And I have that gift. I remember someone telling me that in construction. But you know me, guys, I'm honest. Okay, I'm straight up with you. So, and what I can tell you is, a lot of you guys and girls, you undersell yourself. You think, I know decisions are hard. I'm making this video tonight to document my own stress, even decisions at this point, even though I'm glad I made decisions these past 4 years in my life. I'm glad I made decisions. My life has gotten better by the grace of God. Still, I cursed God a half hour before I went live because I was stressing about, do I want to make an offer on this home base or do I want to buy this RV? And I was stressing mentally. I came out of Starbucks and the sun was setting directly in my car. I'm sitting right next to the beach, guys. I'm living a dream over here. I got no bills. I'm doing great. I'm looking good too. And I'm living a dream, guys. I'm by the beach. I got no bills. I'm stressing about whether to buy a $100,000 RV or buy a home base. I mean, I got it pretty good. But I'm getting upset, okay? Because I'm thinking about, what do I want to do? The sun, guys, I got the sun. Some of you guys are buried in snow, okay? I got the sun coming in directly in my car. And I'm like, fuck, I want to relax. So I go to put my sunshade up, okay? And it's like fucking, and I knocked over my coffee. $2 coffee. And I could go get a free refill. And I said, fuck you, God. What the fuck? In my mind, that's what I said. And, I was reminding myself, like, Sam, you just go get fucking free refill. But I was upset. And I was really upset, mainly just because I was stressing about decisions. The $2 coffee don't mean nothing to me. Now, if I buy a $150,000 RV, I may be making my own damn coffee. But what you find out is when you make your own coffee, you ain't saving that much because you got the coffee machine, you got the filter, you got to clean it, you got to put filtered water. Before you know it, you say, fuck it, let's go to Starbucks. Always have your budget together. Always calculate the cost. Like Jesus said, never start building without calculating the cost. Good job. We're going to go back to live feeds. I want to thank all my members. You want to be a member? I go live every night. Click that blue join button. I appreciate the thumbs up. It's like a pat on the ass, but I'd rather a pat in the pocket. Never forget it. Okay? Because I played basketball, played football, played baseball. And the pat on the ass, not that exciting to me. When someone gives me a pat in the pocket, I say, praise the Lord. Okay? Because I don't know anyone that don't like a pat in the pocket. Okay? A pat in the ass. Guys, some of you guys got locked up for that. I'm not even going to talk about that. Let's say possible. All right. Let's ask. I'm calling. Oh, Fred! Good to see you, man. Tony! Roberto! I got ice in my mouth. Hold on, guys. I see you. Fred, shout out to you, Roberto. Tony. Tony Guerrero, what's up, man? Shout out to Canada, man. Good to see you. Getting an interview is a win, Hal. Yep. Eventually, you're going to get a job. No doubt about it. If you go on 20 interviews, I would say out of 5 or 3 of them will call you back for a second interview. And if you follow up, say it with me. If you follow up, you will get the interview. Okay. You'll get the job probably, more than likely. Thank you, Tony. Fred, great to see you, brother, man. Shout out to you, man. 2 guys from Brooklyn in here, Fred and Hal. Love to you, Fred. I hope you're doing well. Hope your family's doing well. Hope your mother's doing well. Your mother and Hal's mother. Fred, hey, Sam. Hope you are well, brother. I would say overall positive. I'm stressing about some decisions, but these are small decisions in one sense. But, it's like I simplify my whole life. I can make one decision, can turn backwards. However, I said to myself, even if I make a bad decision, I have enough stability with savings, with sources of income. Even if I lose my job, I have exit strategies. Okay. So, like I said, guys, I don't cry the blues because I live in a truck stop. Okay. And I live in a truck stop. Okay. So I can get ahead, not get by. And I'm not going to play this game where, oh my God, life's so hard. Look, guys, if you put effort into your life, make more money, spend less, and over time, even if you make a wrong decision, you'll be able to withstand it, okay? Because, you've done the work. Fred, he goes, we got hit. I heard New Jersey and New York's a shithole right now. A lot of snow. He goes, we got hit with over a foot of snow on Monday. I want to cry for you, man. I know how it is. I've been there. I love you, man. Wish I was in the warmer place right now about now. Can't stand the snow. Laughing. Yeah, and I don't even want to be negative or say something sarcastic, because I remember, Fred, last March when I went back up to New Jersey because we were in a national emergency. Everything shut down. Everything. Okay. And I remember driving into New Jersey, and I was not in a good place. You think I cursed God? On a 70-degree day in Florida, everything's going pretty good for me right now. I was livid last spring. But guys, I still made a video every day. I still showed up. I was still positive in a lot of videos because you persevere. You make a bad decision or there's a bad event, show up. Keep showing up. I had someone I think highly of. They said, well, I don't know what I got accomplished. I said, well, you showed up. That's an accomplishment. Never look down on just showing up. Never. Like I said, I want to go back to this point. I know a lot of great people, done a lot of great things with their life, great accomplishments. They still don't look up to themselves. You have to pull from your past wins. And you got to say, I have what it takes. Look, there's some people, guys, they don't have what it takes, but very few are people who show up and just try their best even if they fail. Usually those people have enough strength within them to go forward. Like, look, guys, my mom could be insecure. She can struggle with controlling her food. But when she has needed to make decisions in her life, as painful as it is, she's made them. Now, here's the real deal. Sometimes in life, all of us, you got to get you got to get put in the corner. You got to get pushed to the limit before you tell people back the fuck up. You have to get so upset before you decide to walk away. You have to get so upset before you decide to change your life. Like I always tell you guys, some people are off put by my intense energy. And I'm fair in saying I respect that my energy is not for everyone. I don't think I'm God. But I do know that in some way, in some form, if you don't learn how to get intense, you ain't never going to do shit. Okay? You ain't never going to do shit. And I don't want that for you. I don't want you to be like me because, again, I don't put myself on a pedestal. But I want you to be able, in your own way, to get a little bit intense and get shit done. Because without that energy, nothing gets done. And what needs to get done first is cutting expenses, cutting bills, and increasing income and increasing health. Okay. Like I say, you're never going to get prosperity trying to figure out how to get your budget together by shopping in the Dollar Tree. You're never going to get your health together by doing keto and fasting. Okay? Your health gets together by reading the food labels and being consistent. By working out at least 5 days a week. Not eating shit on the weekends. And by increasing your income. All right, let's go back to live comments. Got in a little tangent. I love you, Fred. Roberto. Hello, fellow nomads. Roberto, love to you, man. Roberto, I am stressing a little bit about the decision. Do I want to buy a home base? If I buy a home base, let's think about this. Well, if I buy a house, obviously I'm not a nomad anymore. A nomad is someone with no permanent place, basically. If I buy a raw piece of land with like a shed and RV hookups, I would say I could probably still be considered a nomad. If I do an Airbnb, same thing, kind of. If I buy a Class B and just get 1,000 Trails camping pass, yeah, I'm a nomad. Do I like the word nomad? I do. Do I like the lifestyle? I do. Do I like leaving Florida? I don't. Can you be a nomad and just circle around Florida? Yes, you can. I see plenty of them here every day, even in the summer. So, love to you, Roberto, all my nomads out there. We are the 1% of society. Less than 1% of society is homeless. About 500,000 Americans. There's about 350 million Americans that live in this country. Okay. Out of that, about 500,000 are homeless. Out of that 500,000, I would say at least 250,000 have drug or mental problems. They're not in a car RV. They're on the street or just floating from hotel to, chick's house, dude's house. And the other maybe 100,000, they got a car, van, or RV. You are the 1% of society. I am. We are the nomads. Okay. However, guys, I don't tell you to go in the desert, okay, and live in barren land and live below your potential. I tell you, milk this cow till the bitch is dry. Okay. Because I tell you this, guys, Bob Wells didn't live a great life, okay, because he was in a desert. He lived a great life because he got disability after he was working as a park ranger. He was driving his motorcycle. He hurt himself. He got disability. That's how he bought his van. And then he formed an LLC and a nonprofit, and he gets a great salary, and he wrote a book. He sells it on Amazon. He made his way, not by living in the desert, but by increasing his income. Bob Wells, the king of the nomads, showed you to be a capitalist. And I'm for a socialist program, some. But I'm just trying to make the point, you have to look at someone's actions. And he should preach more the value of increasing your income. Because what gives you independence is not free boondocking, okay? It's an extra $500 a week. Never forget it, okay? If there's anyone in there that just felt that, I want you to put a money bag emoji in the members only chat, okay? Because I'll tell you right now, that's what will change your life, not free boondocking, an extra $500 a week. Okay. Why do you think they say click this link? Why do you think they say click the thumbs up? I tell you, click the blue join button. Let's cut right to the chase, okay? I don't want to do foreplay. Let's go right to orgasm. Click the blue join button, guys. See, they go click the thumbs up because they want to get into a YouTube algorithm where YouTube recommends them more. Why do they want YouTube to recommend them more? They want more money. And if they don't, why isn't their personal Facebook page public? So guys, anyone who says they're just sharing their life to connect with others, well, why isn't your Facebook and all your other information public that you can't monetize? Because guys, it's all about the money. Okay, true. However, guys, I've learned great things in church, on YouTube, and even paying for it. I've paid for things to learn. So there's nothing wrong with that if it's upfront and not manipulative. I've dated a stripper. I tipped a stripper. Okay. I don't look down on strippers at all. Okay. And what I can tell you is this. Decisions are hard. It's hard to say, you know what? I'm not going to stay in the strip club anymore. You know, was it hard for me to leave the strip club? A little bit initially, but I was like, I was always kind of like a little bit like, mature. So I was like, it's just time to change, man. People have a tough time changing. Crossing a threshold and never looking back. All right, let's go next comment. Fred at Hal. Consider staying at an Airbnb long-term until you find a permanent place to live. Well, I agree with Fred's context there. Keep your flexibility until you get stability and income. When you don't have a steady income and when you don't have a clear direction, you need maximum flexibility. See, that's an excellent comment, Fred. Very smart. Don't undersell yourself, Fred. See, the reason why it was easy for me to sell my house in New Jersey, because I knew no matter what, I needed flexibility. I knew that, guys, why have a house if I don't want to live here? Now, it was hard to say, well, don't buy an RV because there's no, like in your mind, a lot of people in their mind, they want to buy in order to downsize. They want to buy a second house to downsize. Sell your first house before you do that. They want to buy storage bins to consolidate. No. Buy trash bags to throw out. See, there's something in the mind when we're faced with a hard decision of eliminating, we want to add. Because humans are hoarders, not minimalists, by our emotional state. Because at our deepest emotional state, we are survivalists. That's why you're going to date some girls that they want to stay friends. They want to keep your text message from 20 years ago. Because they need that emotional energy to survive. They can't survive by themselves. If you ever date a girl or a guy and they invite their ex to the Christmas party, time to move on. Because I don't know what the fuck they inviting their ex to a Christmas party. Okay, we're not friends. I'm telling you right now, I want you to hear this so clear. If you meet a girl or a guy in the gym, you have made the wrong decision. I was in the gym this morning, and I had to push myself to go, wasn't it? But I know I want to be healthy. And I was in the gym. I was doing my workout again. If you can get 15 minutes a day in the gym for 5 days out of the week, you're winning. I was in the gym pumping iron, not too much because I'm getting older. I'm middle-aged. I'm 40. But I was getting my blood flowing. Guys, when you get your blood flowing, you get juiced up. And some of you are very dry. I understand this. That's why you got no libido. So I'm working out. And guys, there's girls. I'm in a nice part. There's girls with these. Oh, my. Guys, when you're in the gym, it's like people are wearing lingerie. They're wearing bikinis. They're wearing nothing. And they're sweating and you're sweating. The worst place you can meet someone is in the gym. Because your testosterone is going, they're basically butt naked, and you think you're in love. You're not in love. You're horny and your testosterone is out the wazoo. I remember when I dated one of the first strippers I ever dated, and I picked her up, like I got her number. She was in a strip club. She had like a bikini on basically. And I remember I picked her up at her spot. It may have been in Linden, but I picked her up at her spot. And when she came in the car, like her face, she still looked cute. But like I looked at her a little crazy. And she said, "What you looking at?" And she goes, "What? I look different with my clothes on?" And I said, "Yeah, that's it." And my mom said, "That's it." Guys, like she looked completely different without wearing, without seeing like her camel toe, without her in a bikini. And I said to myself, wow, that's it. And so what I could tell you is, in order to make rational decisions, we need to know the environment we're in. Okay. When you're in a highly emotional environment, you don't want to start making decisions. You don't want to make decisions on who to date when you're in the gym. You don't want to make decisions on what to spend when you're at the car lot or when you're at the RV dealership. Never buy a car or an RV your first trip there. Go back 2 or 3 times. Whatever you cannot walk away from, it's going to own you financially, psychologically. It's going to be a bad decision. Very hard, guys. I said to myself, man, it's hard to walk away from something. Very hard. All right, let's go to the next comment. Let's take a hydration break. Then we'll go to the next comment. Shout out to all my viewers out there. Okay, my members, Hal, Charles, man, Fred, Roberto. Love to you guys. Hal said he'll look into that. Fred, at Hal, you don't have to, we're talking about Airbnb now. You don't have to worry about the first and last month's rent with Airbnb. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Stay at an Airbnb for like 6 months. Should be enough to help you save and look for something more permanent. Well, that's actually good because I never did Airbnb. And I'm glad you shared that. I'm sure it will vary by person. But I like that. Yeah, you don't have to put first and last deposit. Well, I like that. You got a lot of flexibility. Good comment, Fred. Good information. ESP, if you're watching in the background like you always do, did you have to put she rented a place in Alaska for the winter. Did you have to put first and last deposit? Hell, $2 super chat. Well, damn it. Running low on that water. Go get a gallon. Well, I thought about if I get a $100,000 RV, shit, I'm not going to be in Starbucks. I'm going to be getting Walmart water. I'm running out of water. You're right. Damn it, Hal. Thank you, brother, for the tip. I don't know if I'm ready to give up Starbucks yet. And if I get a Class B, I don't know if I want to put all the miles on that thing. I got to think about that. And thinking about it stresses you out. Thank you, Hal, very much, man. Love to you, brother. And thank you, Fred, for sharing some great information. ESP, let us know if you had to put a last deposit on that. Hal says, I love the trash bag comment as true. The 3 mil contractor grade trash bag is the only way to downsize because your family doesn't want your free shit. Salvation Army don't want your free shit. I've shared the story often. When I sold my condo, I had a baby blue Italian leather sectional couch. Okay, a lot of fun on that couch, guys. And I said to myself, well, I ain't taking this sectional couch in my car, okay? And I said, I think I called a couple people and I said, look, you want this thing? And we ain't got no room for that. So I called Salvation Army. I tried to do the right thing, help the poor, give them a fucking Italian leather couch. I don't know what a homeless motherfucker gonna do with an Italian leather couch, but I asked, I said, you want this? And so you know what Salvation Army told me? They said, yeah, we'll take it, but it's gonna take us about 3-4 months to get there. I said, what? I said, I'm closing on my house in 30 days, man. I said, you ain't getting this couch. And you know what I did, guys? I chopped that sectional up. I threw that shit out. Okay. That's probably about $5,000 couch, man. But I tell you, I was committed to going forward. I damn sure wasn't going to put my house sale on hold. I wasn't going to put my life on hold. Every decision that you don't want to make, you put your life on hold. Unless it's to add. Oh, here's a big... Someone drop a jewel and drop a key emoji because I'm about to drop a jewel and unlock a key of wisdom. The decision to eliminate, to downsize, or to step away from, if you don't make that decision, you don't go forward. But the decision to add will not prevent you from going forward. The only decision that prevents you from going forward is what you are willing to walk away from. But you don't need to add anything to keep walking. Oh, I don't know if some people understand what dimension that wisdom's from. That wisdom's from the next dimension. Coconuts! Coconuts, he's fucking good. See, Coconuts undersells himself. This guy's good with the emojis. I want to say that again, then we'll go back to live comments. This is what I've learned in life, one of the key things. I know decisions are hard. I have empathy, not judgment. But I don't have patience. I'm not a preschool teacher. I know who I am. I'm a YouTuber living below his means. And I'm glad I didn't buy a Class B as soon as I sold my house because I'd have to talk to everyone that wanted to talk. I don't want to talk to everyone. But this is what I want to tell you. If you are unwilling to make the decision to walk away from something, to leave a relationship, to throw out an item, to sell something, to get rid of your storage unit, if you're not willing to do that, you can't go forward. But here's the good news. You don't have to add anything. You don't have to buy an RV. You don't have to buy a vacation house in Florida. You don't need to add anything to keep moving forward. Oh, that's so key. That is so key. And if you got that, you got some value out of this live chat. Thank you, Coconuts. Appreciate you coming in strong. All right, we're going back to live comments. Fred, flexibility is a must for nomads. Amen, Fred. I mean, it's a must for life. Now, it is true, guys. There's certain points in your life, though, you have to add some stability. Okay? Like, your whole life can't be Gumby, but you need a level of flexibility. Now, you need a foundation. Again, you need some stability, especially when you're very young, when you're very old, or when you're sick. But you always need some flexibility in your budget, in your emotional, mental, physical health. Always. Good job. And in your mindset. Like, this is what I want to share with everyone still in the workforce. You're going to work for a company and all of a sudden, a policy changes. All of a sudden, your company gets bought out and there's new protocol. Stay flexible. Don't say, oh, we never did that. Don't say, oh, the other way was better. Guys, you have to go forward. You don't move forward when you cling to the past. I can't tell you how many people I've worked with, smart people, accomplished a lot. But when a new company would take over or when a new procedure would take place, they wouldn't roll with the punches. They basically wanted to shoot the fair one with the CEO. Guys, you don't shoot the fair one with the CEO, man. He's running shit or she's running shit. You keep your mouth shut. As long as you're not asked to do something immoral or unethical. And you say, all right, what do I got to fill out this form now? Okay. Guys, you're paid to do different shit. Remember, you're not paid to be a YouTuber on your main hustle. Guys, on your main job, you're paid to be a nurse. So you say, okay, our hospital just got bought out by the Cleveland Clinic. Now I got to fill out this different form? Yes. Yes. You say, when I was loading boxes at Walmart, they didn't ask us to do this. Well, now you're at Amazon. It's different. You say, DoorDash never had this policy before that. I gotta check with the customer before I leave. Now it's different. Oh, the flexible mind. See, not too many people have a flexible mind. They're cheap bastards. I know a lot of people, they'll shop at the Dollar Tree like this. Very easy. I know very few people that adapt quickly. One of the greatest compliments I ever got was from a manager. He said, Sam, I think he goes, I know you'll be okay because you have a mind that adapts. And I took that as a gracious compliment, not prideful, gracious. It was a blessing. And sometimes I have to encourage myself. Sometimes you have to encourage yourself. See, I want to go back to the point. A lot of people undersell themselves. And sometimes when I'm stressing about a decision, I remember that compliment. See, a lot of you people still remember the trolls comment. And I talk to these trolls. I say, look, you ain't fucking with me. But I also remember the compliments, not just the critics. Because you have to pull your strength out of you too. See, I did this shit before. I've done better than this. I dated bitches look better than you. Okay, whatever it is for you. Okay. You got to say to yourself, I already sold a house. I can sell this house. Yeah, it's a little bit bigger than my old house, but I could do it. I did it once, I did it twice. You say, I've been married 2 times. Well, you can get a divorce. You got divorced once, you can do it twice. Now, I'm not saying you should get divorced and move to Florida, but I'm saying I want you to think a little bit better about yourself and your abilities and your strengths. I never talk down to people, only talk up. But what I found in life is a lot of people actually want you to talk down to them. I had a girl, she almost wanted me to talk down to her. And I said, I didn't say like anything but in my mind, I basically said, you're not getting me caught in that fucking psychotic mind game. I'm not your therapist. I'm telling you right now, never date someone that you have to be their therapist. That's an unhealthy relationship. Unhealthy. Never be a caretaker in your house. You need a nurse. You need a helper. You can be a caretaker, but you also have to be a daughter. You also have to be a son. You can't be a nurse and a child and a sibling. There has to be boundaries. Some people too damn cheap. That's truth. Now, guys, I understand. I could be cheap. We're going back to live comments. I had to get on fire. Oh, ESP. Coconuts, he dropped them gems. Coconuts, you see that $130,000 Class B? Anyone who saw the Class B RV video I did today, I want to know, all my members, I want to know in the comment section, would you buy that RV? Because I'm considering it. It's up there. I want to know in the comments below, would you buy that? Or would you buy a Prius, or would you buy a home base, or would you just do nothing? I want to know right now. Get your hand out of your pants. Get your hand off the hamburger. Get your hand off the after hours trading app. Time to relax. All my day traders, the best trade is knowing not to trade if the moment is not right. If there's too much risk and not enough upside, you walk away. If you can't go a day without trading, you don't have your money structured right. You should have a savings account, a main source of income, and a side thing. And if you have to make a certain amount every day in the markets, the markets run your life. You don't run the markets. You have to manage your time. I'm talking big talk now, guys. I'm not talking GameStop. I'm not talking GameStop. I'm not talking Workhorse. I'm not talking AMC. I'm talking my long-term, sustainable people out there. Let's take hydration break. It's okay to make mistakes. Don't forget that, guys. That's how we learn. All right, back live comments. I'm going to get to ESP. I appreciate you sharing. Where are we at now? Hal says, that Airbnb is definitely giving me a peace of mind. I don't like the Airbnb app. The app interface sucks. I don't know if ESP can shed some light on this, or Fred. I got to try on the laptop version. But I do not like the Airbnb app. Like, the one reason I like DoorDash because I love the app interface over Uber. But I am not impressed with the Airbnb app. They got to step their game up. Charles, Sam, I've got a software training YouTube channel. Okay. I went live last Saturday. I didn't even know you had videos. I'll have to subscribe. Last Saturday for 1 hour and trained 6 people. Thanks for the format of your channel. Well, I'll subscribe, brother. I'll support you. And I appreciate you. Have I supported and subscribed to other people's channel? Yes. Have I unsubscribed and unsupported them after a certain period of time? Yes. And just like I tell you guys, you know, if I don't inspire you anymore, you should do the same with me. I will support Charles just like I support other people because I believe in a reciprocal relationship, but I don't believe in blind loyalty. Like if Charles was doing a live feed on, you know, how to be a serial killer, I'm going to unsubscribe. Okay. But I'm fair. If I do a video and I start to hurt Charles mentally for whatever reason, I want him to unsubscribe. I never want to be in a relationship where it's favor for favor, where I have a house, I need you to help me to redo my kitchen. I'll help you renovate your basement. I did those. I'm done. I'm supporting Charles out of free will. And I appreciate his membership. I appreciate all his positive comments. I'm going to support his channel because I believe when you get a job, help people up. But here's another thing I want to share with you. There's been some people better than me that they have helped a lot of people get a career going. And these are people that voted for Trump. These are people that can be very tough to work with. But I have to admit, they've also opened a lot of doors for a lot of people. So I'm saying that someone can make some bad decisions, but they could also have a good heart. There's a lot of nuances in life, guys. Thank you again, Hal, for that gracious tip, brother. Thank you, Charles. Everyone sub to Charles' channel. Charles, I'm halfway to having my channel being monetized and creating members only channel thanks to you. Well, thank you. Obviously, it's up to you how to run your channel. Just remember, for 3 out of the 4 years I had my channel, I had no memberships. But now YouTube is a little bit different, so I wouldn't be mad if you did members only right away. But when I did members only, I took a hit. My viewership went down, at least initially, but I had already, this is a side hustle, number one. Number two is I made a calculated decision. Well, if it doesn't work out, I'm willing to have my YouTube channel totally collapse. So when you make decisions on charging for certain levels of entry to your channel, one is just make sure that you've built up a big enough base and enough content to say, look, this person brings some value. Okay. Because that will change things. You know, like guys, I talked, I don't know, everyone who watches me for a long time, like Journey, I talked every night live for like 3 years for everyone. Because I read every comment, even when shit was free. So I'm sharing with you what I've learned is, it's just like what I learned coming up in my career. You work as an apprentice electrician or you work at the bottom of the barrel. And if you keep showing up, if you keep bringing value, eventually you can charge a higher rate because you've proven yourself reliable. You've proven yourself to be able to give something back. And if you're doing for yourself and managing your life, when it comes to a creative thing like YouTube, where it's also a side hustle, you can be willing to walk away from it if it doesn't work out. So the people, to me, that are never able to be themselves on something like YouTube is that they depend on it fully. And I'm not mad at them. Everyone has a different way to live life, but I'm just sharing some thoughts. Love to you, man. I've met a lot of people that got halfway to being monetized and then they quit. I met a lot of people like Juicy Jeff. He had like 3,000 subscribers. He had 1 million views. He quit. But I think he did the right thing because he was young. He was in his 20s. He's still figuring out life. And people don't realize how hard mentally YouTube is. I would not recommend YouTube for a 20-year-old person. However, I did like Ustream when I was 20. I did a radio show, so I had to learn through failure. You only learn through doing and making mistakes and being embarrassed. But there's also a season where you have to fall back, be a recluse, work on yourself, and then when you engage with the public at large, you're going to another dimension psychologically. And you better be equipped with good mental health and to be honest when you have a bad day and to overcome people who have a bad day every day. Because there's a lot of great people on YouTube I've learned from and I've connected with. And there's also a lot of people that are mentally ill, emotionally ill, financially ill. And where do they go? Their phone and a free app that allows them to interact. Like I say, guys, I don't think you ever been to a free club with no dress code. Someone's getting shot. Okay. So how do you mitigate that risk? You charge an entry fee and there's a dress code. Okay. But guess what, guys? You don't open up a club and the first month there's a dress code and there's you got to be careful. You got to plan this out. So just remember that Facebook, was free, Robinhood free, and they get you in, okay? And then they build up an ecosystem and they upsell you, okay? That's the business model of today's society. But there's nothing wrong with that. Guys, when I would go do electrical work, there was a fee. You get to decide as an adult what you want to pay for, what you don't. So one of the hardest things about being an adult is making decisions. And the only thing I can say to help you and to help myself is that when you're unwilling to make a decision, you go back to being a child and someone else has to run your life. Your parents, your social worker, your correctional officer, your probation officer, your wife, your girlfriend who thinks she's your wife, your boyfriend who thinks he's your father. Oh, what a fucking disaster. Independence comes with a price. And like I said, we'll go back live comments. You're not free until you make the decision to walk away from certain things. The good news is you don't have to make a decision to add anything to stay free. You don't have to add a relationship to be happy emotionally. You don't have to add a house to be happy in life. Like I said, guys, if you're not happy now, I don't know how you think a house will change your life. If you're not happy in your car, I don't know how you think an RV. If you're not happy in New Jersey, I don't know how you think Florida will change your life. See, guys and girls, go back and look at my videos in New Jersey. Even though I hated being there, I was still the same pretty much person. Okay. Florida will enhance your life. An RV may enhance your comfort. A boyfriend or girlfriend, if done properly, may enhance your enjoyment of sharing moments. But if you need that, your priorities are all fucked up. Good job. Back to live comments. Hal, I checked the Airbnb, Edgewater, New Jersey. Edgewater is big money. Edgewater is big money. Is $1,250. Average rent in America is about $1,200 a month. That's too high for you right now. Total was $1,585. Well, you in a good area, man. You in Edgewater. Big difference, man. There's a big difference between Edgewater and Linden, man. So I don't know how many people are here from New Jersey. There's a big difference, man. Fred, you came through like hurricanes. I do appreciate that. Yeah, make sure you visit these areas, man. Coconut, key emojis, man. Coconuts, man. How you like in Florida, man? Coconuts. One day in the sun, I got burned. Coconuts, man. You pale as hell, man, because it's cold. But guess what, guys? The first time you go on a job interview, you suck. The first time you come to Florida in the winter, you get burned in 65-degree Fahrenheit weather. The first time you give a blowjob, you choke your ass off. The first time you smoke a cigarette, you cough up a lung. But guess what happens? You start to get to a point where you can't live without that cigarette. You start to get to a point where you're deep throating a big cock. You start to get to the point where you do a job interview like this. Practice makes perfect. However, if you don't walk away from those cigarettes, you're never going to be able to run in Florida, or at least walk. However, you shouldn't be deep throating everyone you meet. You shouldn't be eating the coochie of every stripper. There's some things we have to walk away from. Adding things is optional. Never forget it. Damn, this is good stuff. Damn, I should be charging more, man. Fucking inflation. All right, let's go back. Fred, Hal, you are most welcome, my friend. Coconut jam emojis. ESP. ESP's living in Alaska. She goes, yes, I put a small deposit down. Oh, she's talking about her Airbnb that's rented. So you do have to put a deposit down maybe on some Airbnb rentals. But my arrangement was directly with a landlord. It was a few $100s, not much at all. Minimal commitment. Well, that's good. You mitigated risk. You always have to know that if you commit to something, if you make the decision to commit, how do you get out of it and what's the worst case scenario? That's mitigating risk. If you buy GameStop at $300, how do you get out of it if it goes down 100%? If you buy Bitcoin, how do you get out of it, period? Even though it's up. If you get an Airbnb and it goes wrong, how do you get out of it? You always have to know your exit strategy and mitigate risk. Never forget it. Good job, ESP. Thank you for sharing. Fred, I use the Airbnb website, not the app. I got to try that, Fred. Good comments tonight. ESP, I like that RV a lot. Well, ESP, don't tease me. Would you buy it? Oh, shit, I missed it. Charles, $2.99 super chat, damn it. I'm telling you right now, thank you, Charles, for that tip, brother. May your YouTube channel flourish, but this is the biggest advice I can give you. If you want to grow your YouTube channel, you have to look at it as the same way as your bicep. It doesn't happen with one great live feed. It happens with consistency. 5 days a week in the gym, a 15-minute workout per day. It starts with making an upload every day and a live stream at least once a week. Consistency. When I looked up how do you start a YouTube channel, everyone kind of gives like their own opinions. But the number one lesson when I personally was looking to others to give advice on how to start a YouTube channel, the number one piece of advice that kind of everyone said was that if you're not consistent, it's not going to happen. That's the gem I can share with you, Charles. Thank you for that $2.99 super chat. If you are sharing your life publicly, you better self-care your life. Because you got to really take care of yourself. Good job, man. Thank you very much. Thank you, Hal. Thank you, Charles. Thank you to all my members. Yeah, I want to know if ESP says that if she will buy this Class B. She goes, Class Bs can be parked somewhat stealth. It's true. A little bit. Like any other vehicle. To some extent, you're right. They can. That was a 19-inch RV. 19 foot. So I think an 18-foot van is like the shortest. 19 foot, one more foot. But they will fit in a normal parking spot. And you probably could get away with it at a gym or at an industrial location most nights. Now, if you're there every night, it may get flagged because you can tell it's a little bit different. Let's continue with your comment. Here's the big thing. I want to read this. And I got some more to share about this. She goes, if you get that Class B, no DoorDash. But with a Class B, you are not necessarily tied to campgrounds. That's true. Good point. This is all I want to talk about. I've been very much thinking and stressing about the decision. If I get a Class B van, it eliminates DoorDash. And that's a negative. But I said to myself, I'm 40 years old. I'll be 41 this year. If the worst case scenario happens, if I buy a Class B and I get laid off the next day, how would I handle that? I said, well, yeah, if I had a car, I'd be door dashing that same day and still doing YouTube, and then I'd be looking for another job. But no matter how I played the scenario, I said, well, I'm not at the point where I would just door dash until I'm 65. At 40 to 41 years old, if I got laid off tomorrow, whether I was in a Class B or in this Jeep, I still, at a certain point, have to go back into the corporate world, or at least I will. I don't have to, but I don't want to be destitute when I'm old. I want to get ahead, not get by. So if I was 61, guys, if I was 61, I would be masturbating in a Class B right now, going live after I was done cleaning up in my self-contained shower. Age matters. If there's anyone in this live chat, whether you're a member or not, I want you to listen. If you're over 55, I want you to listen. You are the youngest you will ever be right now. I know how hard it is to make the decision to downsize. What I can tell you is it doesn't get easier every day you get older. Look back in your life and look to all the strength, all the things you've done with your life. You can do it. Don't undersell yourself. And you can do it. It'll be worth it. Because you're not going to go forward unless you eliminate some things. You don't have to add things to go forward. That's the good news. The bad news is most people do not go forward. Society goes forward over time because humans, as stubborn as they are, as reluctant as they are, as nasty as they can be, life is not worth living without forward momentum. And it's true that people commit suicide. It's true that people commit mass murder. It's true that society has some dark parts about it. But it's also true that light is greater than darkness, and that the desire to go forward is greater than the darkness. However, I've met people that succumb to the darkness. And what I tell them is I tell them the same thing Gandhi told them. You're not going to walk through my mind with your dirty ass fucking feet. Okay. I don't care if I supported you. I don't care if you got me a job. I don't care. If you are going to try to walk through my mind with dirty feet, if I got to sell the Class B for an 80% loss, if I got to DoorDash off a rented bicycle, motherfucker, I'm moving forward. And until you get into that mindset, you ain't going nowhere. You got decisions to make. Fear is only overcome by action and faith. You can't outthink fear. However, you can't be reckless. You got to be calculated. So back to the thing, you can rent a car for about $800 a month. And if I DoorDash full time, I could probably make $2,500 to $3,000 a month in populated areas in South Florida. At least. But I mean, I'd be pretty much working for peanuts if I rented a car for $1,000. But I would say this, if I bought a Class B, and again, if I got laid off, I'd still have to go back to the corporate world at my age. So I don't even know if it matters. I mean, DoorDash would just be another supplemental income that I eliminate. But if I really became destitute, I could sell the Class B for a loss. I could eat it. And I would buy another car and I end up right back where I'm at. See, a lot of people don't realize, guys, when you don't have shit, okay? When you don't have shit, what's the worst that you're going to end up not having shit? Okay? I've lived 4 years without shit. Okay? Now, I need my health. I need the ability to be able to make income, right? But what I'm trying to tell you is, guys, like if I got a Class B or if I got a house, I kind of no longer fear, like, guys, I mean, the worst case scenario, as long as I keep my health and my wherewithal to be able to, move around and make money, the worst thing that happens, I end up in the same spot I'm at right now. Okay? So, I'm not saying I will do it, but I'm saying this is how I think out now some of these decisions. Okay? And it's because I've worked and I've saved and I've picked up side hustles that, I'd be willing to maybe take that venture. Good comment, ESP. Charles, thank you again. Charles and Hal, thank you. Hal. Union City, be careful. Yeah, you going down because you're going down not just in rent cost, in quality of life. Union City, yes, 1,300. That's high, man, for Union City. I haven't been in Union City a long time, but be careful, man. Total at check-in, 1,700. That's too high for Union City, man. This is a one-bedroom, and Edgewater was a studio. Well, Edgewater's a good spot, man. You don't want, in my opinion, I don't know. Well, you got to find out first where your job is. Okay. Once you find out where your job is, in my opinion, you should keep commuting to Brooklyn for the first 6 months. You don't need to take the risk of starting a new job and getting a new place. Because you got to work consistently, you got to save up a little bit, add some stability, then take another risk. You can't do risk. You got to keep some stability with your income, because right now you're on state, and then add risk. And guys, commuting from Brooklyn to Linden or wherever you're going, yeah, it's an hour and a half or so. That's not a deal breaker. Okay. If you were doing a 4-hour commute, I say that's a deal breaker. Hour and a half commute, even 2 hours, it sucks, but you can do that. Don't rent a place yet, man. And be careful in some of these spots you rent, and be careful. Love to you, man. Keep looking, man. ESP. Class B vehicles have a decent resale value in our current pandemic situation. It's true. Now, they have a resale value at retail. When you buy an RV and when you go to sell it, if you sell it private, it may take a while. If you go to the dealer and sell it to them, they're going to pay you wholesale and sell it for retail. And that's where you take a loss. But again, if you decide to sell it private, it may be on the market for a while. So you have to kind of figure that out. It's not as liquid as a car. It's not an appreciating asset like a house. So I know like there's inflation now with the pandemic, but you have to be honest. An RV is still a poor financial investment. That's okay, but you have to be willing to eat that and accept that. And if you get a little bit lucky and if it holds value, then that's what it is. But, you know, I don't know if I'm ready for the Class B. Like I say, if I was 61, it'd be a no-brainer. I'm still trying to figure that out in my mind. And right now, you know, I'm just thankful for what I have. So we'll see what happens. But I have been stressing a little bit about it, so I wanted to share that in tonight's live feed. So thank you for all the comments. There were some great comments in here. I want to thank you. Thank you for the gracious super chats. I hope my videos help you guys in some way. Hal says, I don't want to do a room. I agree with that. If you're going to move out, unless you're destitute, don't rent a room. Rent a cheap-ass studio apartment, even if you had to be in a bad neighborhood, but maybe a safe building. I have no place in Brooklyn. I am officially out of the place I am at on the 13th. Oh, the 13th of February? I'm still living in the, with your ex-girl? We were exposed to COVID, so I had to stay here for quarantine. Okay. Well, the good news is you got the extended unemployment. And so the good news is you're not destitute. Now the bad news is just remember that's not going to go on forever. So, you know, keep focus. The main thing you have to focus on now. Well, let me ask you this, Hal. Do you have a vehicle? Your vehicle is your independence. Because with your vehicle, you don't have to wait. Again, you don't have to wait for Amazon or Walmart to call you back. You can Instacart tomorrow. And I know you told me that, you know, in Brooklyn, DoorDash was like frozen. I'm sure there's opportunities to DoorDash in New Jersey or Instacart in New Jersey. I know it. So, oh, you got Dodge Journey? Okay, that's good. If you got a car, you got your independence. Like I say, my grandmother who came here from Italy, I asked her at the end of her life, did she have any regrets? She said, Sam, the only regret I have is never getting my driver's license because I never felt independent. I always had to walk to the store, and I never felt like I had my own life. Okay. So if you have your driver's license, you're blessed. Now, I have met some great people. They have epilepsy, they have seizures, they can't have a driver's license, but they still live a great life. They Uber everywhere. So, guys, even with something, you can work around it, okay? So, as scary as this is for you, Hal, I feel it. And like I told you guys, when I even came down here to Florida, I came by myself. I was scared. I should. I could feel the fear of February the 13th. Now, that's a little crazy. It's February 13th. But greater is the spirit in you than the spirit in the world. Greater is your faith than fear, if it's great. Action relieves anxiety. And so, when you're getting picked on by the bully, you don't want to fight. You recognize you can get hurt. But you recognize if you keep taking his shit, you're going to die anyway. So you look right in the motherfucker's eyes and you say, if you want it, bring it, motherfucker. Okay? Because you ain't the only psychopath in this place. Now, I'm not telling you to cause physical harm to anyone. Okay? I'm just trying to give you a mindset that when you get scared in life, don't go looking for trouble. Take what I'm saying. I'm just saying you got to say, look, what's the worst thing that happen? I'm going to end up right where I'm at. Okay. If I'm already getting fucked up, what's the worst thing that happen? I'm going to get fucked up more. You know what I mean? So in our mind, we have to get past that point, whatever it takes. Okay. So, like I said, you ain't going to quit smoking cigarettes. You ain't going to lose weight. You ain't going to get out of an unhealthy relationship. You ain't going to change your location until you get intense. However, just being intense is not sustainable. You have to learn to build good habits that are under self-control so you can sustain it, not just go from stock to stock. $4.99 super chat coming in strong at the end. Charles, brother, keep it up. Well, brother, you keep it up. You keep doing self-care first, priorities. Your self-care, Charles, comes before your YouTube channel. And then through your abundance, through your cup overflowing, you share. See, I met some people, they had a YouTube channel. It wasn't out of their abundance they were sharing. It was out of their scarcity. It was out of their fear of someone knowing about Florida. It was out of their fear, not out of their abundance. Scarcity is different than living below your means. Scarcity is living like someone in poverty because you refuse to put a demand on yourself. Abundance is crossing the threshold of fear and showing up to your job even when you're scared out of your mind. You can never preach a good message unless you understand abundance. Not Creflo Dollar abundance. Not even Inspirational Nomad membership only abundance. You know what the fuck I mean. The abundance that comes from taking care of yourself well. It's priceless. It's the only way you go forward. Thank you, Charles. Thank you, everyone. Peace.